Om Prakash asks what the difference between an equity savings fund, a balanced advantage fund, and a dynamic equity fund is, and which of these is preferable in the current scenario.
Many a times, it depends on the fund company because it's not a very regulated thing. Everybody tries to, except for the dynamic allocation fund, which tries to attempt an asset allocation by investing in equity and debt depending on, so there is no frozen allocation. The fund has ample flexibility. The fund can invest anywhere. The fund can be substantially into equity. The fund can be substantially into debt. The fund manager's mandate is to run an equity or debt portfolio and be fully invested in it or completely out of it, depending on his outlook for the market, for the various segments of the market. If the fund manager thinks that the market is extremely expensive, it is poised for a correction, and it decides to be completely out of equity, it can well do so. So apart from the dynamic allocation fund, the other two, the names are being used interchangeably, but depends on the fund, from one fund to another. Very soon we will have a law. The SEBI is contemplating a regulation whereby they will classify funds. They will actually mandate what fund stands for what, and every fund company will have to slot their funds into those categories, and that will actually simplify things further. But many a times these are used interchangeably. The only thing you have to worry about is that sometimes the allocation to equity slips beyond. Many a times some of these funds are trying to some of the equity income funds and other things are actually looking like 35% fixed income, 35% equity, a third in equity, a third in fixed income, and a third in arbitrage position. So it gets the tax treatment of an equity fund, but the underlying characteristic of a fund is two-third fixed income. Two-third fixed income from an investor's experience point of view, in terms of investor's return point of view or risk point of view, and two-third into equity from a taxation point of view. So that, I think, is quite interesting. You can be a conservative investor investing in those funds, but you need to really find out, because different fund companies are actually stating it differently.